we finally got to the new movies. um, so The Force Awakens. I think I watched this movie like 3 times. I watched it when it got released, like a couple weeks after it got released, and I hated it. Then I rewatched it and started liking it, but I believe like I hated it because of I got spoiled because of the death of well, if you're watching this, I suppose you already saw the movie, so the death of Solo, it got spoiled for me. Um, so yeah, I was kind of hyped for this movie because as I said, I had watched a few Star Wars movies, and then when they announced this one, I went back and rewatched the ones I already had watched and watched it for the first time, the ones that I didn't watch it. Um, so like I kind of I kind of prepared myself for this movie. My expectations were really high, which is the recipe for not enjoying something. And it was like 2 days before I could watch the movie. I was browsing. Um, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was like Instagram or something like that. I know it was something that you could attach images to the comment section. And thinking about it now, I don't think Instagram has that feature yet. Um, so I don't know. Maybe it was Facebook, but I was browsing. uh, I was browsing the internet for like I was looking at something not related, not related. Sorry for that. To Star Wars, and then like randomly on the comment section there was the screenshot of Solo's death, and then um, that completely ruined um, the mood for me to watch that movie. So when I finally watched it, I kind of hated it. I don't quite remember why I didn't like it, the movie, but I just didn't. Um, it was probably just because of um, that frame that got spoiled to me. But like, I tried to find like excuses to not like the movie. Like I couldn't say, oh, I didn't like it because I got spoiled for that. I was trying to like search for stuff. Oh, I didn't like it because on that one scene, the lighting was kind of odd, or the camera placement was strange, and I didn't like the soundtrack. So I was trying to find some excuses. But yeah, at the end was because of the spoiler. But then, like a couple months later, I decided to rewatch it, and I enjoyed it. It was interesting to see the characters again. Um, Although, like, after I rewatched it for the third time to do these videos, there is some problems with it. I really liked the trios, like the protagonist trio and the villains trio, like Ray, Poe, and Finn. I think they are great. In this movie, they work together, and the villains also are really great, like Kylo, Phasma, and the other guy, General Hux. Um, they are really nice. I enjoyed it a lot of the movie because of those characters. The visuals, the visuals are quite um, distinguishable from each other and from other characters. Like Rey um, is this scavenger girl that is wearing just like pieces of um, fabric, random pieces of fabric. We have Finn, which is an ex-stormtrooper, which is a really cool idea, and then we have Poe, which is the one we are mostly familiarized with, because he's the rebel pilot, just like Luke was. And then on the villain side, we have General Hux, which is like again more down to earth. He's like a character that we can understand better because he have no power, he have like no cool armor. He's just a guy with an army. And then we have Phasma, which is the the cool character, the character that everyone wants to be. And then, but it's still like she does not have powers. She have like cool guns and a cool armor. And then we have Kylo, which is the more like fantastical like character, more like Vader, the one that have the Force, and that will wield lightsabers. So every character is like very distinguishable from each other and from other characters that we saw um, in the franchise. Of course, there is Kylo, which is like Vader, and Phasma, which is kinda like Boba, but it's not like just a copy. So I really liked that the characters, the design, the backstory. Um, yeah, going to the story. Um, it was kind of generic, but I kind of understand why, and also like generic in the context of Star Wars, because we have some elements that they took from other movies. Um, so that's why I say it's generic, because it's stuff that we already saw in Star Wars, which I understood it, and it didn't bother me that much because it's been like quite some time between the end of the prequels and the sequel, in the beginning of the sequel trilogy. There is like a big years gap between those two movies, the third one and the seventh one. So I can get that like they are trying to use common elements that the fans already know to establish this new trilogy. So like I have they blow up something big, like a big ball from inside out, and the same happens um, in the New Hope and the Return of the Jedi, and the same also happened in the Phantom Menace, and now it is happening in the Force Awakens. So they repeated that. Just hit the microphone again because I'm still not used to it. Um, there is also like the element of the farm boy character that have this great power within it. This time it's like Rey. On the other trilogies were Luke and Anakin, so there is also like this element that they repeated it. Um, but yeah, my understanding was that they they there is like this big year gap and they need to use common elements to appease to the fans of the franchise. So it didn't bother me because of that. But for the next movies, I was expecting that they came up with new stuff, which didn't really happen. But let's talk for when we get to the next movies. For this one, yeah, it didn't bother me. Um, there is like some stuff on the like let's go specific in this story. Um, when Finn and Poe escape the stormtroopers, yeah, I'm skipping some stuff. Um, when they escape the stormtroopers and they crash into the desert planet, there is something that bothered me quite a lot. Quite a lot. I don't think that works. um, which is like Finn and Poe, they get split, and then like we believe that Poe is dead because we see his ship getting sunk in the sand. But then, like to the end of the movie, he just appears out of nowhere. So that bothered me a lot. Um, it's like, why are you doing that much drama? Like, why are you making the death of this character such a big deal? We don't really know it. We don't had screen time enough um, to start caring about Paul, and you just killed him. But then later on, it got revealed that he's still alive. So the scene of the ship sinking, I don't think that's correct. The scene of the ship um, sunking into the sand is kind of useless. And then there is like conflict, some useless conflict too. Like when Ray hurts his team, um, he starts chasing him, and like there was kind of necessary sequel in that, because in that scene there is Ray, BB-8, and Finn. BB-8 tells Ray that Finn is wearing Paul's jacket, his master's jacket, and Finn knows BB-8 by the characteristics that Paul told him. So both Ray and Finn knows BB-8. Ray starts chasing Finn out of nowhere, like BB-8 tells about the jacket, he starts running towards Finn, and then Finn starts running from Ray. Um, and I don't know, I felt like it was kind of unnecessary that that scene happened that way, because both of them know BB-8. Finn could just um, had said something at that moment. But I don't know. I was never in the I was never in the situation where a woman was chasing me with a big metal stick. Um, but yeah, the review of the Falcon is a really great one. Um, and every time I see that, I think it's funny. Like that's like one of the few jokes that they got right. Um, it's like the characters are running towards a ship, and then it gets destroyed. And what's the alternative? As they say, is like that piece of junk right there. And then the camera moves and shows the Falcon. So that was fun to see. I get that like jokes in movies um, are not like for everyone. And I can talk about like Marvel movies, because most of their jokes don't appease me. I don't find them really funny, so I get that it's like very subjective. But this one, this one about the piece of junk was kind of funny, and it also goes back to the New Hope, where when like Luke sees the Falcon for the first time, and then he tells them it's a piece of junk. Um, so it's funny, and then they get saved by that. Um, After that we see Solo, um, which is I don't know, like I remember seeing some people talking about the looks of Ford in the movie, because um, he does not look like Solo anymore, even though it's the same actor. Like um, And I think that happened with every character. Like Ford right now, he does not look like Indiana Jones. He also does not look like Deckard. It looks like it's a different actor. And the same happens with Carrie Fisher. It does not look like Leia anymore. On the other hand, Mark Hamill it still looks like Luke. I don't know how to explain that. It's just like I look at Ford and I see Ford. I don't see his characters anymore. Um, when we go to the old movies, that's not a problem. Like I can see Deckard, I can see Solo, but like the new movies that he is making right now, it's I don't know, it's kind of odd. I, I think I should. I hope that I was able to explain. But with Hamill, it's totally the opposite. I look at him in this movie and I still see Luke. Um, I hear his voice and I still see the Joker. I don't see like, oh, it's Hamill's voice. Um, but yeah, it's kind of odd. Chewie, on the other hand, looks great. Chewie, Chewie looks like he didn't age a single day since the last time we saw him. Um, which is it's kind of odd again. I look at Chewie and I don't see like it's a human uh, beneath that costume. I look at Chewie and I see Chewie, which is great. It shows that whoever was in charge of the costumes did a really good job, both at the old movies and this new one. Um, and I think the same goes to all the alien figures. Like I can think of anything like that I was thinking, oh, it's like a human beneath the costume, or like it's CGI. Maybe Jabba um, on the like on the Phantom Menace, because it's kind of the CGI. Okay. Um, but yeah, um, Luke Saber. Just I just remember about it. It's also like there is some strange stuff in this movie that does not they don't explain really well, but it didn't bother me that much. I'm commenting about Luke Saber because it's something that um, I saw in some reviews of this movie. People got upset because Ray sees the Ray finds Luke's saber, and then that woman tries to handle her the lightsaber, and like Solo asks where did she got that, and then he just says, "Oh, it's a great story, but we don't have time for that right now," and the talk ends there. It's just like, yeah, I have Luke Saber, but I'm not gonna explain how I get it. I'm just gonna say that it's a cool story, but yeah, we don't have time. Here, have it. Go fight the New Order. Which again is like, it didn't bother me that much. I was like, okay, Star Wars is full of that. Um, like, let's go back to the original trilogy. Um, Jabba is after Solo because Solo dropped a cargo because like he saw some Imperial ships, freaked out, and then dropped the cargo. But we don't see that. They just mention it like, oh yeah, you did this, and now I'm paying a price for your head. That also happens a lot in like Lord of the Rings, which is one of my favorite franchises. Not the books, but in the movies, we'll get mentions of stuff that we didn't saw yet, or didn't saw yet, that we didn't saw. Um, like, let's say the beef between the elves and the dwarves. We know that they hate each other, but we don't know why. We just get to Rivendell, and there is the meeting, and we just see Gimli and Legolas um, throwing insults at each other. And then someone mentions that they don't, elves and dwarves don't um, really do well together, and that's it. And then at the end of the movie, we see like they we see that they build a friendship together. Um, and there is more situations like that, like the three hair twins. I think that's it. Um, After they leave, right now I think I'm mistaking some of names. 'Cause in Riverdale is where they have a meeting, but then we see the elves again. I really need to rewatch that. But yeah, um, I don't, I won't remember. But I think the first meeting is at Rivendell, and then we get to Melvin City again. But after that, um, everyone in the party gets presents, and Gimli gets 3 strings of hair from the elvish lady that I also forgot the name. I really need to rewatch those movies. Um, and then he mentions like, oh, I asked for one, and she gave me 3. And if you only saw the movies, you don't understand the weight of that scene. If you read the books, um, you will fully understand. So my first contact with Lord of the Rings was through the movies. I didn't quite understood it, but like the way I understood is that, oh, the Elvish lady was something in Gilliam, and then instead of giving 1 string of hair, she gave 3. Um, so that's like how I saw the Luke's lightsaber. Um, they just the lightsaber just appears. She says, "Oh yeah, I have it." Um, but we don't have time to explain it, so here it is. Go have fun with it. And because of that, it didn't bother me, because I was used to those type of things. Um, so yeah, there was mystery, um, the mystery of who had the force, which I kind of liked. Like on the whole movie, we were like between Finn and Rey. Um, like we don't really know who have the force. We know one of them have, but we don't know which one. And then we get like to the end of the movie until we figure that out. And I kind of liked that. Um, and like rewatching the movies, it also they didn't bother me, um, because like some movies they get boring after you already know the answers of mysteries. Um, like let's say Seven. Seven is a great movie, but I don't think I can rewatch that because I already know like the mysteries. Um, I know like every plot twist that will happen. I know like who's the killer. I know how he did the killings, why he did the killings. So rewatching it, I don't think it will be a good experience, which does not happen in the Force Awakens. Like I already know that Poe is still alive and well. I already know that Rey is the one with the Force. Um, I already know like that they will be able to destroy the Starkiller, but I still think it's a good movie to watch. Maybe like the beginning of it, I'll find it kind of slow, but it's a movie that I can keep rewatching. So yeah, that's um, that's the Force Awakens.